Today, I wanted to talk about these techniques that we use to help mitigate our painful experiences. But really, this leaves us very stagnant and with a bunch of habits that really don't align with who we actually are. So, to start off, I want you to take a look at all the things in your life that you don't actually want to participate in, that you actually don't get joy from, and I want you to really ask yourself, why am I still doing this? Right? So this could be friendships, this could be a job, this could be how you spend your extra time, this could be just how you're talking to yourself, could be eating habits, whatever it may be. But if you have a goal and you're not reaching that goal because you're not putting in the work, I would ask yourself, why am I not putting in the work? And I want you to take away shame from this, because shame is something that so many of us do, but really it's just a distraction from actually uncovering the truth. It's your way, for me, it's my way of my ego trying to control the situation even more so. So I want you to ask yourself, why have I not achieved it? Why have I not put in the work? Why have I not been putting in the work towards this goal? Why am I so afraid of it? Right? And what you'll find is that you're self sabotaging. Why do we self sabotage? Well, we self sabotage because we're afraid of what's to come in the future, because of our own past experiences that have really hurt us, let us down, led to trauma. So now we're trying to control our experience. Even if we are self sabotaging so much that our life is getting fucked up, if you're doing that, then really what that's saying to me is that you are trying to control your experience so much, even though you deeply want to change. Your ego isn't letting you. But your ego is just trying to protect you, right? Because shit happened in your past that was really upsetting, that was really hard. So now it's coming in and saying, I have this situation now, and we're going to continue to do these things because even though it's so painful, even though it's resulting in the exact opposite of what I know that you want, it feels safe. It feels safe, so let's keep doing it. But it's not safe. It's harming you, right? So, a little bit about my own self sabotage. I had an eating disorder for about 15 years. I just wouldn't eat. I would go a really long time without eating. I was just super thin. I felt like I was going to pass out all the time. I thought I had diabetes. I didn't know what was going on. To the point that I was 22, and now, mind you, in high school, I was like um, a competitive public speaker, winning like up to like $50,000 in scholarships for school. Like I was driven. And then I graduate college and I can't hold a receptionist job because I don't understand what's even happening. I have to move home to my grandparents and sleep on the floor type situation. Okay. And what that taught me, and it took me about from that moment till about I was 25. 25 is when I really started to recover, because I realized that the act of me not eating was a form of self harm, but B, it was a form of self sabotage. Because I didn't have to worry about connecting with people. I didn't have to worry about growing my skill set, believing in myself, because I was just barely getting by, which was enough for me at the time. And it was when it wasn't enough for me anymore that I had to change. Something I really want to acknowledge too is that during that time, I think I was 21, 22 when I had to move back home. During that time, the pain in my body from just the trauma and experiences that I had up to my life to that point, just to put it shortly, let's say neglect and abuse, let's just sum it up. That pain was so much for my body to handle that I couldn't process it. I couldn't process it. So, a way for me to handle it was to avoid it. And to avoid it, something of that magnitude, meant that I had to really, really step outside myself with that disorder. People do this with alcohol, people do this with drugs, people do this with work, people do this with relationships, people do this with working out. It was so much, but I wanted to be so different. I wanted to be so different, but I couldn't be. And I couldn't figure out why. And I used my ego then would go into shame, okay, to distract myself further. Oh my God, I'm such a piece of shit. Like, I can't get it together. Whatever. Yada, 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 going deeply into that, which was a distraction from the real issue, which was I can't function in my body. You take a look at the chakra system or Maslow's hierarchy of needs, take a look at that foundational base. What is it? You need food, shelter, water. That's what you need to survive. And I was taking one of those things away from me. And my whole life was crumbling because of it. Because I couldn't afford therapy. I didn't know how to heal myself. I was so sick. So sick. And then I was choosing people that were making me even more sick, making me feel even worse about myself. And I abstained from food further, right? So the reason why I did this was because I couldn't bear the thought of having a more painful experience tomorrow. So I had to mitigate my experience. I had to control my experience. And I tried to mitigate that pain by restricting, right? By restricting my experience. Because I felt so unsafe in my body and around other people and around experiences of life. And it was shown time and time again that life is a scary thing. Life is a big, scary thing, and I can't do it anymore. And that was my way of handling it. Well, there came a point in my life where I was like, I'm deeply unhappy and I'm hungry. A bitch was hungry. She really was. So at 25, I didn't even know I had a problem, but I started to just eat a little bit more food because I was trying to hit the gym and get really strong. I was trying to build an ass. So I started just eating a bunch of like food, and then my appetite skyrocketed. I went through a whole recovery process, which I can do in a completely different video for that. But take a look at all of the habits in your life and see if that really brings you joy and abundance and love and these things that you think that you want. If those habits aren't bringing you that, and you know that, and you're continuing to do them, then you don't really believe that you're worthy of it, which is so sad. Because your past experiences, your past trauma does not determine whether you're worthy or not, but you think that it does. You think that it does, and so you continue on with it. And you're trying to protect your inner child from more experiences because you were just taught that it was all shit. It's not all shit. I'm telling you, it's not all shit. Right? So, practices that we can do to help move through this trauma, this mindset, this need to control, and to move you towards that goal, to have you step into those habits that you know are good for you, and to say no to those that aren't. So the number one thing would be nervous system regulation. Okay? Are you struggling with eating? Do you have shelter? Are you drinking enough water? What is your internal dialogue like? Okay? What are you saying to yourself on a daily basis? Are you saying that I'm so worthy and abundant and full of love and I'm going to get to where I need and I'm so deserving? Or are you saying I'm a piece of shit? I don't deserve that. I should just stay home. I should just hook up with this guy. I should just blah, 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 blah. Okay? If your mindset is poor, do affirmations and shadow work. Work on getting a job that's going to cover your needs. Are you in a safe space? For a long time, I didn't feel safe living with roommates. So it wasn't until I was able to have my own space that I felt I could actually recover. So ask yourself, am I in a safe space? What do I need to do to get there? What do I need to do? And then do that. Once we have those stabilizing factors, your foundation together, once we have your foundation, you then want to work on regulating your nervous system. Because your nervous system, one of the reasons why we partake in all these shitty habits is because we're trying to avoid the thing. Because it's very uncomfortable in our bodies. It's not just in our minds, it's in our bodies too. So you're very uncomfortable with it. So I want you to work on regulating your nervous system. And I'm going to do a video on this. There's plenty of things. Stimulate your vagus nerve is one. Take an ice cube on the back of your neck. Practice breathing. Breathe in, Breathe in a little bit more, hold, and release through your mouth. That's an amazing one as well. I want you to practice working out every day, saying affirmations. These are all things that are going to help calm you down. And as you do it, do not be surprised if you have kind of this backlash, this increase of energy, maybe even memories coming back to you of your trauma. That's okay. That's what this is here for. You're creating a safe space within your body, mind, and spirit for you to fully express everything that you've been through and to purge it out. It's not here to stay. It feels like it is in the moment, but it's not here to stay. It's going to be released. And if it keeps coming up, that's okay. Continue to release it. Don't judge yourself. That's the number one thing. Don't judge yourself as you're going through this. You need to be on your side. And you deserve more than pain and misery for the rest of your life. And then once you start to feel a bit regulated in your nervous system, this is what I consider your masculine side, your masculine container, right? We've created a strong foundation. We feel that we have created space for us to express. And now we're going to bring in our feminine side, the part that is playful, the part that wants to create, the part that finds joy, the part that has you walking through the day feeling excited for life, right? Kind of how you were as a kid. But you feel so disconnected from that, and the world just really thrives off of you not feeling that. So it can be really difficult to think that that's even possible. But it is. So once our nervous system is regulated, we're going to step into our feminine, more feminine energy. For both men, women, anyone who identifies as anything, you likely have both sides, well, the feminine and the masculine. So I would really listen to your intuition at this moment. What do you want to create? What do you want to make? What do you want to do? You have extra time. If you've created a foundation, you have a little extra time, spend it wisely. Look at who's draining your energy and start to step away from those people, places, and things and towards the things that get you excited. They make you feel like a kid again. For me, it's painting. I love to dance. I love to do photography. I love makeup. I love clothes. I love colors. I love people. I just I'm like very childlike sometimes in my energy and my expression. So like I just love having fun and showing up as that. And then other people have different energies. So what it's getting to know yourself again before it was completely taken away. Right? And so during this time, you may find yourself to be falling back into maybe shitty patterns. Your ego is going to get really loud and it's going to try to tear you down. Why are you doing this? You're no good at this. You are worthless. Whatever story you have in your mind will continue if you don't stop it and do something in opposition to it. I have a lot of limiting beliefs around worthiness. So when something pops up and is like, wow, you can't be a photographer, you're a bad photographer. What makes you think that you're worthy of it? And I'd be like, okay, that's a thought. It's not true though. I'm a great photographer. And I'll be even better with practice. So I'm going to move towards that. I'm going to continue to work. And this may look like, so these 3 steps, right? Foundation, creating that safe container, and then creating and embracing that feminine side, This may be cyclical. I know that for the past year and a half, I went back to taking a look at my foundation because my shadow side really just expanded and enveloped my life for a long time in my old job. And now looking back, I had to be like, okay, that was teaching me a really valuable lesson on listening to myself and valuing myself. And I'm thankful for that. And I'm going to choose to now that I have my foundation again, a stronger foundation than before, I'm going to choose to create and do what I really love. I'm going to choose to hop on here and say what I need to say and help people. I hope that you guys enjoy this video and that you got something out of it. And I will see you soon. Leave some questions below. And yeah, bye.